Okay, morning guys. So today we are going to cover page 16th of the chapter. So for newcomers, as usual, I'll do a quick recap of what I'm doing and then we'll dive into the drawing. So hello everyone, my name is Capel and I've decided to do a series of short videos sharing my process when it comes to drawing mangas. And the reason I've decided to do it is because I've been going at it for about a year and a half myself, and it's really hard, uh, obviously. But what really bothered me when I was like looking into it is the fact that there weren't a lot of resources online that I could use to learn. So I figured I might as well share my process with you. Even if it's not the great, he might give some hints and even inspire some people to, start doing their own mangas. So, as I said before, today we're going to do page 16th. And the way I like to panel my chapters is what I would usually do is draw a mini map of the entire chapter. This one is about 29 pages. And just to get an idea of the pacing and to map out at what point I want the big moments to hit. And once I've done that, I go page by page and I draw a very, very rough draft, mostly to get an idea of the spacing and the pacing also of the chapter. Then, what I usually like to do is to draw a second layer. So here it's slightly more details. The characters are starting to come alive. And now we can add the text and the panels. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a time lapse recording myself doing one last draft, which is going to be the most detailed. And after that, we'll move on to the actual outline, which is the equivalent of the inking phase in traditional manga. Okay, guys. So I just finished the rough draft for the first panel. So maybe something I should comment on is my references. So for the headless guy on the right, this guy, since he's mostly naked most of the time, I've been using those anatomy book in Spanish from my grandfathers, which are pretty neat. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff also on Google that you can find online. But yeah, uh, I do find using a physical copy pretty useful also because you. But yeah, and when it comes to horses, they do have a very unique anatomy. For example, if you break it down, so obviously you have the head of the horse, right? Then you have this whole thing which is the neck, and what gets interesting is you have like two small balls here, which are actually the pecs, right? And what and then this is the shoulder, so you have a second ball here, and this is the elbow. and this is the wrist, that part, meaning that those three sections here, one, two, three. I'm simplifying the shape. This is a finger, right? With like with the free portion of the finger here. So the way the arms of the horses are structured is essentially all the fingers fused into one. I do find drawing similarities with humans pretty useful because it's a lot more intuitive to understand how the joints of animals function. So now when I want to picture like a horse running, I understand why, this kind of motion because it's based on the anatomy of the fingers, right? So yeah, so now we're going to move on to the outline. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys. So I just finished the outline. It might be a bit tricky um, to add the background afterwards, so I'll probably do this after I post the video. But now we're going to move on to the shading. And if you look at first panels, the light is kind of coming to the front of the children, right? So it's behind the headless guy, which meaning the light is doing something like this, right? So we're going to do this now, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys. So we just finished the shading again. Usually, when it comes to characters, I like to use very thin lines. I'm still playing around. I might change it a bit. And I haven't really decided how to do backgrounds for this one because it's not like a fully enclosed panel, so it can be a bit tricky to kind of predict how the entire page is going to look based on that. So it's probably something I'm going to edit later, additionally. So that's all for today. I'll do the rest of the page on my own, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.